So one thing that I didn't cover but really wanted to, it got lost in the craziness that was free agency 2024, was Patrick Kane re-upping in Detroit for 1 year. Contract is a base of $4 million, but it's bonus laden as many are in today's day and age. He's staying put on a Wings team that missed the playoffs by the absolute thinnest of margins, and made a couple of shrewd moves this offseason to bolster their lineup for 2025. All this after quite a few pundits, including NHL.com, mentioned that he was unlikely to return to the Red Wings. There were plenty of rumors about him wanting a second chance in Manhattan, or the Buffalo stuff is always going to be there, but at the end of the day, he sticks in the place where he made a honestly pretty incredible comeback. Having major hip surgery is tough for any player, but when you're 35 years old, you've already got a ton of tread on those tires. Not only did he miss out on off-season training, but he also didn't start playing until about 2 months into the season, and he got hurt again about halfway through. Like, this guy had every reason to call it a career, or at the very least not be a star player anymore. Instead, almost a point a game, 47 and 50, 20 goals, was one of the main offensive drivers of that Red Wing team, and honestly looked like pretty vintage Patrick Kane at many points. Detroit was hoping to see showtime, and he gave him showtime. And even with the recovery process and the time adjusting to a new team, I still think quite a few people weren't that surprised to see him make this type of a comeback just because of how he plays. The stick handling, the hockey IQ, it makes it so he's always kind of lurking in the right spots. Plus the finishing ability, that doesn't really go away. That type of game lends itself to you being good for longer, even while the game around you gets faster and better. He's the only one from those Hawks Cup teams still playing at a star level. I know you still got guys like Saad and Teravainen playing good hockey, they're good players, but while he's not as good obviously as he was in his prime in Chicago, Patrick Kane is still Patrick Kane, and the only time he wasn't is because he was dealing with that hip injury. And I know people like to pair him with DeBrincat, and for good reason, but with the addition of Tarasenko and the emergence of Lucas Raymond, he looked so good last year. Plus, of course, Dylan Larkin, Mr. Everything for this team. Seeing, knock on wood, a full season of Patrick Kane in a Wings uniform under those circumstances, I think we're in for a treat. Hopefully enough of one for them to actually make the playoffs this time. As we get closer to the season, I might make a more detailed preview for the Red Wings going into 24-25. If that's something you want to see, let me know, and I know some of you guys want some of those longer videos. I've made quite a few of them recently. They should all be linked in the end screen right now. We did ranking first overall pick since McKinnon, we did examining every team without a cup, and I also chose a captain for every team currently without one, so there you go for those of you who like the longer form stuff. There's still some teams, players, and topics I want to dive into before the season gets started. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great summer. You're awesome.